What's going on? Welcome to my next lesson tutorial on how to draw muscle poses. And before we get into the video, don't forget to make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and also hit that like button so I can put out more videos like this. Also, in the links below, you can check out Figurosity and some of the tools that I use. So right now I'm working in the head method from what I showed in the previous tutorial, and I'm working in the eyes and the triangle shape to get a general idea of where to place the face at before I start structuring the rest of the body. And I'm gonna use a lot of big shapes to get the gist of where the body, of how to place the body and where to position the body. I'm not going to get too detailed until close to the end. So right now I'm adding the oval shape for the overall shape of the body to get the chest in, since the chest is kind of placed in perspective a little bit. The shape of the chest would kind of mimic kind of like an oval shape. I'm working in the shoulders, and for the shoulders I did kind of like a half circle, only because the arm is going down and the shoulder is going to be stretched, and when certain body parts are moved in certain positions, the muscles are going to be stretching in certain areas. They're not going to be fully or full. And shoulders aren't really round anyway. I make them circles just to kind of get an idea where to place the shoulders at, but the shoulders are actually not circular. They're more like a kind of like an arch shape almost, which you'll see me do later on. I'm working in the hands, and there's different ways you can work in the shapes of the body. You can just use straight cylinders for the arms, or you can just sketch out the arms. You can use cylinders for the whole body shape, and circles for certain limbs as far as the elbows or the knees, and then start adding detail as you go along. And usually when you're adding detail, I use it like a rubber eraser to erase all the lines, only because rubber erasers, when you erase the lines, it will leave a line behind. But if you use a regular pencil eraser, sometimes it will erase like too much, and rubber erasers will erase just enough to where you can kind of go in there and use a pen or a pencil to add that detail. Now I'm adding in the other leg, and the leg is foreshortened, so I'm trying to place the foot in the back and try to add the shape of the foot. I didn't know what I was gonna do this pose at first. I saw the pose and didn't know whether I was gonna do a superhero or a fighter. And just like you see in the thumbnail, I ended up choosing the fighter. But I originally was gonna do Spider-Man or Iron Fist or some other Marvel type of character. So I ended up settling with Oma Tokita from the King and the Shura series. I'm adding in that hand on the bottom, and also on the finished piece, I used there's other ways you can go about this. Also, you can also use a light table, where you can take this and put this over a light table and put like a harder, thicker paper above it if you want to use like paints and different things, and just trace over it and clean lines up even more. A lot of professional artists do that also. So right now I'm adding in the neck detail and the back muscles. The back is foreshortened in the back in perspective, so since the eye can't see around the corner, you have to kind of make it draw as much of the back as you know your eye can see as you're following along with the picture. And shoulders, since the shoulders are stretched down, you have to kind of pull those lines down when drawing the shoulders, since the arm is going down. We're getting the chest. Now working in the lat area. And usually it's hard to draw the muscles out when a lot of the body is hidden, but that's kind of like where knowing the basic anatomy comes in handy, where you know exactly where those muscles are going to be placed when they're hidden. You're drawing the forearm, the forearm is twisted a little bit, so that's why they draw those muscles in the forearm twisting to the side, following where the hand is going, and darkening up some of the lines so I can kind of see a little bit better. Working in the leg muscles and trying to get the knee in. And it's other ways you can find out. You just look in the mirror and you can take your leg, lift it up in the mirror and bend it in the mirror, and you can see how your leg foreshortens in the mirror to give you an idea on how to draw the shapes of the muscle when it's foreshortened and your eyes can't see much of it. Working in the foot. And right now I'm adding more lines in the leg area, also the chest area, to add a little more details, define the shapes a little bit more. Right now I'm just trying to throw in some lines that I can use for later when I start to create the character. I'm doing the forearm, the other side, and the biceps. I do have a shading tutorial coming soon. I know I've been getting a lot of requests on YouTube and also a lot on TikTok for creating the shading for the muscles and for the facial structures. And I have a few of those coming soon. Actually, I might have one coming next week to get that straight for you guys. Now, drawing the hands are in a weird foreshortened angle for this picture. But if you're a beginner and you're trying to draw fingers and you get them done pretty easily, there's a way around that by just drawing a bunch of cylinders. And when you draw cylinders or draw the cylinders in perspective or in a foreshortening way and fill in with the fingers detail, you're able to easily get the shape of the fingers in when you're posing the figure, and posing the hand also in different directions or different perspectives and foreshortening them in different angles. But it's not that hard as long as you practice a lot creating the fingers. You just got to keep on practicing and eventually you'll get better. And it's usually hard with hands sometimes when you get those crazy angles when the fingers are kind of just look like all you can see is a nail, but you can't see the rest of the finger. But there's ways around that when you're using cylinders. Detailing that arm. I didn't know whether I was going to add armor to the character or not, but I decided to stick with just the shorts and give him a little long hair. I wasn't getting bruises and bandages, but I'm just focusing on adding those last minute details. And then focus too much on details, especially when you're on this stage, especially since you're going to go over it anyway to create the character, because eventually you're going to just erase it lightly and then go over it with even finer details. So I'm kind of just putting in a general idea just so I know where everything is placed and be able to see better when everything is real light from erasing it. But that's it for this video. If you like what you see, want to see me make more videos like this, just hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. All right, take care.